This week, we'll be going over all of the achievements in Darkwood. This is a Polish horror game that was officially released in 2017. I had played the early access version a little bit and then just kind of forgot about it until recently. So I ended up seeing a few people playing it recently, and then I saw it in my library, caught my eye. So I said, okay, let's go through this and kind of give it another try. And I am very happy that I went through it. It has 15 achievements and ended up taking a little bit over 30 hours for me to complete. And now, let's get into it. Starting out, I'd recommend taking it slow for your first playthrough and really explore the game. The atmosphere and story are what makes this such a good game, so be sure not to rush too hard for your first playthrough. Now for the first achievement, we have Finished Prologue for making it through the Prologue. You'll need to be sure to have the Skip Prologue option set to No when starting your new save. Difficulty also doesn't matter for any of the achievements, so you can have it set to Normal, or Harder if you really want to. Going through the prologue is pretty straightforward and easy. You'll start as the doctor, put your dog out of its misery, unfortunately, and then switch over to our protagonist, the stranger. You'll then start chapter 1 of the game, which is where you'll most likely spend most of your time. You'll want to explore, loot, and survive as well as you can. The maps of the game are also procedurally generated for the most part, so the locations of things will be different for you than it was for me. After your first night, you'll walk out to a creepy wolf man hanging out in your hideout. He'll talk to you and tell you to meet him at his camp in the Silent Forest, which is the second area of the map over to the right of the meadow. Once you get over there, you'll need to meet back up with him at his camp, and he'll explain that he wants you to steal a key to a room in the village from the chicken lady, and to kill the sow that the villagers worship. That leads us to kill the pig, for killing the mutated pig inside the pig sheds. To do this, you'll first need to find Piotrik's house in the Silent Forest. Once you find that, you'll need to buy a cable from him and bring it with you to the pig sheds, also located somewhere in the Silent Forest. There's a small building with a generator here and a breaker panel. You'll need to fix the cable in here, turn on the generator, and then go to the breaker panel. Here you'll need to remove the lock from it and pull the lever all the way down. And that's all we need to do to kill the sow, and you'll get the achievement. Technically, you can also use weapons to go kill the sow, but this is the cleaner way to do it. This is also required for the future achievement, Trapped Villagers. Now, one thing that's going to be pretty random during your playthrough is when you use meat or mushrooms to create your level up injections, you'll have dreams. One of the dream sequences you'll need to look out for is the grave. You'll start out in the woods with a path leading to a body next to a grave and a shovel. For sleep in the grave, you'll need to lie in the grave. When the body tells you to hop on in because it's so comfy, you'll need to do just that, even against the wishes of your character. And as soon as you get that achievement, Alt F4 because we need to go back into the dream and get no sleep for the wicked for killing the Black Chomper. I thought this was the hardest achievement in the game, but I also never really got the hang of fighting chompers, so that could just be a me thing. However, it looks like only 1.5% of players have that achievement, so maybe everyone finds that one to be pretty difficult. Once you get up to the grave, you'll need to pick up the shovel and get ready. Walk in front of the grave far enough for the body to disappear, and then get behind the grave and get ready to fight. It will likely take you a few tries for you to kill it, but the strat is basically just run around the grave to juke the chomper attacks while hitting it with the slow shovel swings. You can also toss in a few of the quick shovel jabs if you want, and if you end up dying, just Alt F4 quickly and then try again. I'm kind of a pro gamer, so it only took me a few tries. Now heading back to the real world, we'll need to head into the village to get Wolf's Path for giving the key to the Wolfman. This is the part where you choose one of two story paths that you want to go down. Each will unlock different achievements, which means yes, you will have to do a second playthrough to go through the other path. But for this first one, we're going with the wolf. Once you're in the village, you'll need to go over to the right side of the village to the chicken lady's house. The room in the back is what you're needing to get the key for, and the musician out front will tell you just where to find that key. He'll direct you over to the old well in the middle of the village, which you'll need to use a chain to jump down. You can find a chain on a body in the building behind the chicken lady's house or another area of the village as long as the sow is killed. You can also buy one from Piotrek or the Wolfman. Once you go down the well, you'll run through there and climb up to the other side to an old building. In here, you'll be able to find the key to the chicken lady's locked room, and then you can run back to the Wolfman and give it to him. Once you do that, he'll leave and tell you to meet him in the old woods where he'll show you the way to the doctor's house. Finding the doctor is going to be the way that you get Chapter 2 for making it to Chapter 2. Whether you do it the Wolf's Path way or the Musician's Path, you'll end up at the train wreck in the old woods to confront the doctor. You can either kill him and take the key to the underground path, or you can talk to him and go there with him. Then after you go through the underground tunnel located in the meadow area, you'll come up to the swamp and you'll be in Chapter 2. Now in the swamp area, you'll be able to get most of the remaining achievements in one playthrough. First, we'll go up to the talking tree area and talk to the old man and the talking tree. Now you'll need to go exploring through the swamp to find a few areas. The first one on our list is the swamp cottage where the elephants live. You'll have to pick up bear traps outside for scrap metal and then use those to fix the generator. They'll let you in and the mother will explain that her son is missing and she wants him brought back. You then need to go find the mushroom glade where the mushroom granny lives. She's the one that found the boy and she's keeping him in the locked room next to her. But in order for her to give you the key, she wants you to kill all of the villagers that have been wanting to eat her. So of course now, we'll explore until we find the quarry where we'll get trapped villagers for trapping the villagers in the quarry with a giant boulder. As you go into the quarry a bit, you'll find this spot where a large boulder is being held up by some logs. Break these down and step back so that you aren't also trapped. You'll also have to manually kill the 2 villagers that were out near the outside of the quarry. And then you can head back to the mushroom granny and let her know that you took care of it to get the key to the door next to her. We'll then go ahead and also get Insatiable Hunger for eating the mushroom granny. You'll need to talk to her and either go through the pick a mushroom option or eat a piece of her depending on what you've done with her at the time, and keep going through those options until it says that you eat her completely and you'll get the achievement. Now you can open the door and pick up the boy and take him all the way back to his mother at the swamp cottage. As you return the boy, she'll give you an empty oxygen tank which you'll need for the achievement Only Ashes Remain for burning the talking tree. In the flooded village to the left of the talking tree, there's a basement that you can go down, and that is where you'll be able to burn the tree. But to do that, you first will need to fill that oxygen tank at your hideout. You have a compressor next to the hatch you entered the map from and will need to repair it using some compressor parts. You can find those either at the radio tower or at the junkyard. I'd recommend just going to the junkyard for this, but be sure to bring some shovels. You'll need to dig in the junk piles and loot them to find these parts. If you get lucky, you'll find them quickly. But if you're like me, you won't be lucky and you may have to make a few trips down there. Once you have them, just repair the compressor and fill up an oxygen tank. You're then ready to head down that flooded cellar to burn the talking tree and finish the game. Once you get to the epilogue, you'll have 2 achievements to get. The first one is Bliss, for going to bed in the epilogue. This is the easy one. You'll basically just run to your apartment, get undressed, go into the bedroom, and go to bed. Then reload that save and replay the epilogue to get Burn Them All for burning the being in the epilogue. This one is a little more complicated, so you'll need to follow these steps to get it done. First, you'll run back over to the apartment building and check your mailbox next to the basement stairs. You'll pick up a postcard, and then you can head down into the basement right next to you. At the end of the basement, you'll find a room where you can grab a jar of mushroom jelly and then flip channels on the radio until it finally stops. You'll then run back up the stairs and go up to the north side of the apartment building's first floor. Next to a drunk guy, you'll try to open a door, walk away, and then go back up there once they open the door for you. Then you can go ahead and go up to your apartment. You'll get changed like before, but this time there's something off. You have roots growing out of the floor and the walls. You'll want to move your furniture and examine them. Then fold your rug and examine those as well. You can then go into the kitchen and grab the screwdriver to start prying up floorboards and follow the roots to your bedroom. Then examine your bed and choose the look under it option and get to the point where you can move it. Do not click sleep or leave, as you do not want to go to sleep. Once you have the bed moved, you can jump down the hole that's underneath it. Then travel up to the being and examine it. When you get the option, you'll need to pull your hand away and then head over to the left where a man is laying on the ground holding a flamethrower. You'll forcefully take it from him and then burn them all. Now it's time to start a new playthrough and get the achievement Musician's Path for giving the key to the musician. You'll want to go through the Silent Forest and talk to both the Wolfman and Musician again. This time, however, once you get the key to the Chicken Lady's locked room, you'll give it to the Musician, who will be hanging out in the silo location in the Silent Forest. He'll then ask you to go up to his parents' house in the Old Woods to get a violin for him. And once you do that, he'll tell you that you can find the doctor in the train wreck. Once you go up there, you can get Willpower for not succumbing to the doctor's trap. Once you go into the train wreck, the doctor will drug you and you'll start a dream sequence. You'll need to survive the dream sequence for the achievement, so if you end up failing an area, quickly Alt F4 to load back in and get it done. Then you'll go through the swamp area just like before and start exploring to find all of the locations again. Be sure to find the radio tower, as we're going to need to know where that is for the last achievement. While we're in the swamp exploring, we can get Entertainer for surviving the wolf's ambush. Now he's quite angry that we did not give him the key to the Chicken Lady's house. So the requirements to activate this is that you don't give him the key, go the Musician's Path, and you don't kill him during Chapter 1. So then one day while you're out exploring the swamp and come back to your hideout, you'll find a large amount of footprints and a note in your workbench that the Wolfman came and stole some of your stuff. You'll have to go to the lumber mill to get your stuff back, but be sure to bring some meds, armor, one trash item, a gun with ammo, and a few melee weapons to deal with dogs. Once you get there and go to the arena, the wolf will think he's so smart by trapping you here and making you drop your stuff off with his assistant. Well, you can actually outsmart him by dropping your items in the arena, then taking that one trash item up to the assistant and leaving it there to empty your inventory. That will trick the wolf into thinking you didn't bring anything with you, and you can just rush back to grab the rest of your stuff and equip it all. At first, he'll send 2 large dogs. Just fight them the same way that you would with any other dogs, and then when the Wolfman comes, hide behind a pillar until he stops shooting. As soon as he runs out of ammo, he'll start charging you. The easiest way to deal with him is just to use the gun that you snuck in to shoot him until he dies. I just used a pistol for this and didn't really have any issues. And then finally we can go get Merciful for completing Chapter 2 without burning the talking tree. For this, you'll need to head out to the radio tower and fight your way through the banshees to get to the bunker. Then once you get to the underground entrance, you'll need to break the fungus off the metal lever and go into another dream sequence. Just like with Willpower, if you end up failing an area or die once in the underground bunker, you'll need to Alt F4 and load the save back up, because if you fail it, you'll have to completely restart the game to try again. You'll go through this dream sequence and then go through another set of tunnels until you come to a large tree mouth that wants you to jump in. Now, I know that normally might seem like a bad idea, but that's exactly what you're going to have to do. Then, once you go through that tree throat, you're pretty much at the final stretch. Just grab this shovel, dig your way out, and then start heading to the right to the road home, and you'll get the achievement. And with that, we now have 100% of the achievements in Darkwood. Be sure to also come by the community Discord to let us know how completing Darkwood goes for you, or to chat about anything, whether it's achievement hunting related or something else. We also now have been accepted to the YouTube Partner Program, which means we have access to community posts and memberships in YouTube. So, if you'd like to support the channel and get some extra benefits like custom emojis to use in the comments and be featured in a shoutout section at the end of videos, just click the join button next to the sub button and choose the tier that you'd like. And as always, if you liked the video or found it helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below with what games you'd like me to cover next.